The storm began the night she decided to dig up the last truth. Rain hammered the earth like it was trying to wash something away. Thunder rolled through the valley, echoing the sound of distant artillery, sounds Sarah had only ever heard in James's stories. But tonight, they felt closer, almost alive. Buddy stood at the back door, soaked, restless, whining at the darkness. His fur was streaked with mud, his eyes locked on the oak tree, the same place they'd found the metal box days ago. The radio inside hissed again, louder this time, like a breath drawn between words. And then it came, that voice. "Sarah, it's not over yet." She froze. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the yard, and for a moment she saw him, James, standing beneath the oak tree, not as the man she remembered, but as something changed. Torn uniform, ash-gray skin, eyes that held both love and warning. Buddy barked wildly, tail low, as Sarah stumbled back. The wind howled through the open door, carrying with it a sound that chilled her to her bones, the faint echo of marching boots on wet ground. He had come home, but what had followed him?
Where truth meets imagination. Welcome to Facts and Fiction.
The rain had not stopped for 2 days. It poured relentlessly, soaking the ground until the garden became a swamp of mud and dead leaves. Sarah hadn't slept much since the night the radio first spoke. Her eyes were swollen, her voice barely a whisper. Buddy lay at her feet, restless, his ears twitching at every sound that crept through the storm. The box she had found beneath the oak tree sat on the kitchen table, still open. Inside, wrapped in a piece of faded army cloth, were a few things that didn't make sense. A burnt photograph, a blood-stained dog tag that wasn't James's, and a folded piece of paper. She'd read that note 100 times, but the words still didn't add up. "If you find this, Sarah, don't come looking for me. The road home isn't meant for everyone. Tell Buddy, he did good." Her fingers trembled each time she read it. She knew James's handwriting. It was his, but the message felt wrong. Too final, too distant. Buddy's head suddenly lifted. His ears shot forward, and a low growl rumbled from his throat. "What is it, boy?" Sarah whispered. The wind howled louder, rattling the windows. The lights flickered once, twice, then went out completely. Darkness swallowed the house. Sarah reached for her phone, using the dim glow as a flashlight. The screen showed 2:17 a.m., the same time the radio had first come alive. And then it began again. The static, that terrible whispering static. From the kitchen counter, the old radio hissed softly, though it wasn't plugged in. Sarah's breath quickened. The voice that followed was low, broken, but familiar. "Sarah." Her throat tightened. "James? You need to listen. It's coming." Her pulse pounded in her ears. "What's coming?" "The truth." Lightning flashed, illuminating the entire kitchen, and for a moment she saw something that made her blood freeze. The chair opposite her was pulled out, and sitting in it was the faint outline of a man. Not solid, not ghostly white, but real enough for her eyes to see. He was dripping wet, his uniform clinging to his body, mud smeared across his hands and face. His eyes, though shadowed, carried that same warmth she once loved, and the same sorrow that haunted her dreams. "James!" she whispered. Buddy barked once, then stopped. His tail thumped once against the floor, hesitant, as if torn between fear and recognition. The figure looked at him, then at her. His lips moved, but the sound came not from him, but from the radio. "I tried to come home." Tears filled her eyes. "You did, James! You're here!" "No," the voice said through the static, "not all of me." The lights flickered back on. The chair was empty, the radio silent. Sarah collapsed to her knees, her sobs muffled by Buddy's fur as he pressed close. Outside, thunder rolled again, but beneath it, she could have sworn she heard something else. The faint rhythm of boots marching down a long, muddy road.
By morning, the storm had eased into a steady drizzle. Sarah stepped outside for the first time in days, Buddy close by her side. The ground squelched under her boots as she made her way toward the oak tree. The air smelled of wet earth and pine, but there was something else now. A faint, metallic tang, like the scent of blood. Buddy stopped suddenly, nose to the ground, his tail lowered, hackles raised. He whined once, then started digging furiously into the mud beside the tree roots. "Buddy, no!" Her words died in her throat when she saw it. Something metallic gleamed beneath the soil. Not another box. This time a small military radio. Its casing was cracked and rusted, the antenna bent. She picked it up with shaking hands. The radio sputtered. For a second it was silent. Then came the faintest whisper. "Sarah, you have to finish what I couldn't." She dropped it, heart racing. Buddy barked toward the woods. Through the mist, she saw movement, a shape in the distance, limping, dragging something heavy behind. A figure in uniform. Her mind screamed that it couldn't be real, but her heart knew that walk. She ran forward, calling out through the rain, "James! James!" The figure stopped. Slowly it turned. The face that looked back was familiar, but wrong. His eyes were hollow, his skin pale, and his hands clutched a torn helmet against his chest. Buddy barked wildly, then ran ahead, tail low but unwavering. Sarah froze halfway, torn between horror and love. "Sarah," the voice whispered again, this time from everywhere at once. The trees, the air, the ground beneath her feet. "Don't follow me. You'll never come back." Her tears blurred the figure until he became a smear of shadow and rain. Then he was gone. Buddy stopped where the figure had stood. He sniffed the ground once, then sat down, head bowed, ears flat, trembling. When Sarah reached him, she saw what he guarded. Half buried in the mud lay James's second dog tag, the one missing from the set she had kept since the funeral. She fell to her knees, clutching it to her chest. The metal was ice cold, yet it pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. The radio in her pocket crackled again. "The road's long, Sarah, but it leads home for both of us." And then silence. The rain stopped. The sun broke through the clouds for the first time in days. Buddy leaned against her, pressing his weight into her side. And as she looked toward the distant woods, she thought she saw a man standing just beyond the sunlight, saluting her one last time before fading into the trees.